What's up, guys? How we doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know if you can hear me. Let's do a little sound check on the old YouTube. Pretty sure you can. If you can't, apologies. Just let me know. GM. Good morning, good morning. What's up, Eric? How we doing? Yeah, I'm all good, bro. All good. Red Pill's currently in a short at the moment. But yeah, been a phenomenal week. How you been getting on, Eric? You making the most out of the daily plans? Eric, are you going to answer me? Or it's nothing worse when you're talking to someone and it just goes silent. You're like, okay, good chat. Good chat. Enjoyed it. Oh, here he is. What's up, Eric? Doing okay. At doc appointment for dad. So prop no trading today. Just wanted to tune in while waiting. Week's been rough for me, but daily plans been awesome. Good stuff, Eric. Well, kind of good and bad, right? I was in hospital last week, so send my best wishes to your dad, and I hope he has a speedy recovery. It's never nice being in the hospital, so yeah, family first, mate. Do what you got to do. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that the daily plans are helping. So essentially, I write the daily plans for myself, but you guys have access to them. It's as simple as that. So it's the same stuff I do for myself. I've just decided to start, giving them to the Joey public for free. So if you utilize the daily plans today, this was what we were looking for inside the daily plans, right? So complete and utterly free for everybody. So if you look at some of our absolute G's inside of RP today, the best entry so far today, Bradders, from what I see, up at 31. What did Plain View get? 28. Yeah, I think Bradders out of everybody won it. Beat it. Got the best entry. I was 29.50. Took a little L before that, and then just mitigated. Now I'm comfortably back in green, just holding a runner to get back down to 82. Thanks, mate. Sorry for taking a minute to reply. Yeah, Zero. You're like my a friend of mine who types with one finger. I'm like, you're right, mate. Just got that one finger out. So, come on, mate. Jesus Christ. Come on, pronto. Already waiting for reset next week for bounce back. Good stuff, Eric. That's what I like to hear, my guy. So today's a day for base hits, right? Beautiful couple of days inside of RP. Absolute monster. I don't want to rub it in, but we've had an amazing week. And so it's just a case of managing ego today and protecting capital, protecting the gains, and taking our foot off the gas as we go into the back end of this week. Right? Just protecting the money that we've made early on in the week. So I'll do some analysis in a bit. If you've not already read the daily plans, make sure you read the daily plans, guys. They're free, and it saves me regurgitating a whole load of content. All right, so just head over to WAP, grab the free The free module, you'll get access to the Discord server where you can chat with the community, you can grab the daily plans, you can get set up for your day with the exact same daily plan that I'm using. So make sure you grab yourself, grab the your daily plans. Time to shine, Rambo. What's up? Time to shine. Afternoon. First time for everything. Yes, sir. So today's an interesting one. And you're gonna have to forgive me. We've got Frank out and about. I know, you're more than welcome. Feel free to jump in and have a chat. It's all good. That's what we're all about. One big, happy, dysfunctional family. So yeah, I hope people find it useful. Lots of people have, which is awesome to hear. Getting some great feedback, which is really, really nice. Not had a day where we're horrifically directionally biased wrong yet. So you guys are using the same plans as me, essentially, if you grab them. But where we are today is kind of interesting, all right? So let's start doing some breakdown on the old YouTube, because we've got news coming out at... where the hell's my news gone? God, look how far we've gone up. So we've got news at 8:30 and 8:45 today. Retail sales at 8:30, then at 8:45 we have ECB press conference. So I'm anticipating the volatilities come in here, anticipating a sweep for a potential continuation. Why am I anticipating potential continuation? Well, NASDAQ divergence. So this Tuesday 16th high is super sus for me. All right, so I'm not going to be looking to trade price all the way up there. I'm not. All I'm looking to do is basics like today. All right, so for example, just like today's trade, just basics. So I'll break down the what I've been doing so far today. So initially, if you go inside the daily plans, 18 was my level for a short. So I missed my initial short by 10 points. And my objective was to come and take out this weak low to get back into this 15-minute balanced price range, at which point we were looking to go long, right? Off mean threshold of the 15-minute balanced price range, which is this piece of price action here, right? So I missed my entry on the long by 10 points. And then we come all the way back down to my balanced price range to take out this weak low on the 15, which is this low. Not 15, I think it was a 5. Yeah, sorry, on the 5. This low. To get back into this BPR. So the principles of balanced price range are looking for mean threshold. So I have an order sat here. Boom. And we go off here. So I missed my entry on the highs to come and take out this low, and then I missed my entry on the long to come back out and take out this high. So that's the kind of morning I've had, right? Beautiful. So then what happens is I short 18 and I get stopped out here. Then I wait for my ultimate objective, which was inside the RP uni, which is mean threshold of this H1 SIBI back at the X levels on the daily, which is right up in here. And so I've now mitigated. So just to give you a little indication of what my trades are so far. That guy will disappear soon. You just got to bear with it. Drives me mental as well. I don't have a pet donkey. I do not have a pet donkey. I promise you. So this is my morning so far, right? So I mean, this is where I went short initially. So 12 got stopped out at 21. So this is how I trade, super tight stops. I'm not into this huge stop stuff. I'm a turtle suit trader, right? We trade the turtle suit, and then got back in at my ultimate objective 29.25, and then scaled out. Just got one runner left, looking to get down to 92. So that's currently where I'm at the moment. If it stops me out, I'm not bothered. Mitigated. my little loss. So I've just had a little bit of a frustrating morning this morning. Missing my short, missing my long, stopped out and then mitigating. So where we are at the moment is we need to be mindful of this H5 SIBI over here. Okay, so often price will build a base inside of this if price is going to continue higher, right? So if we're going to range out of the open to go and work towards that NASDAQ divergence up on the high, you're going to be looking at this M5 BISI to act as support. So first and foremost, these upper quad levels are where you're going to start dialing in your PDRAs on the lower time frame for price to potentially respect, right? So at the moment, if we jump down to 1 minute, we have an unmitigated range. So I'm anticipating price to want to come back and mitigate this little accumulation before the break of structure, which is in this low. So inside of here, there is a potential for price to continue if it doesn't do it now. If it does it now, I'll just move to the sidelines. And then if it goes through here, we need to be mindful that we've still got 50% the London DR, which is left open, which takes down to 455. So with also this H1 doji, which is super sus. If you see a doji with an order block below it, you always target the order block below the doji if you're looking for continuation. So at the moment, I'm looking for a pullback into this M5 BISI, but then going to be utilizing ES for confluence. So essentially the exact same SIBI on ES as this BISI right here. And so if price is bullish, and bullish being to go and NQ to go and work towards this NASDAQ divergence, price is going to go outside the premium side of this H1 DR, the X levels, right? So inside of here is where I start hunting for my PDRA. Well, funny enough, that's where that 5 minute BISI sits, right? So for me, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on ES at mean threshold on this 5 minute BISI to act as support for continuation. If we start carving through here, I'll just be moving to the sidelines today. I'll be done, right? It's just likely to go back and forth. All right. So that's currently what I'm looking at. I'm waiting for news at the moment. Just waiting for a sweep. So this is all engineered liquidity. Waiting for a sweep or news for the potential for continuation to come and drive out the NASDAQ divergence. So buck stop for me will be this this balanced price range. So with balanced price range, it's very simple. You don't mind if it gets tested, but you don't want to see it broken through. And if it does get tested, you don't want to see price back through mean threshold of the BPR. So I'll be looking, if we pile through this mitigation, I'll be looking inside this balanced price range. I wouldn't mind if it tests it, but if it tests it, that becomes my buck stop. I wouldn't want to see price through that low. Then we can start utilizing the principles inside Red Pill in terms of the way we trade for if price comes back, retests BPR is a potential opportunity trade idea. So news at 8:30, ECB 8:45. So when you have split light news like this, it's often very wicky. As they wait for each other. Bum 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 bum. What time was that? 5:30. So yeah, just anticipating a pullback on news here. Don't want this high to be broken really. Well, I don't, because obviously I'm still holding my my runner short. Really been enjoying learning from your dealing ranges, X levels, and 3 drives vids. Great quality and good teaching as always. Keep watching them repeatedly, taking notes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's like the very entry level stuff that's on YouTube, Eric. But if you're finding value from that, that's awesome. Should give you a foundation in terms of how X levels work. If you've not watched the deep dive into X levels with 2 degrees, I highly suggest you watch that. That's a much more in-depth look at X levels and how they work. Morning, Debbie. So today's just a day for patience. Trade liquidity pools. Get your one and done. Be happy. Be content. Finish your day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gary Wayne, is your new indicator going to help marking the charts up with your usual annotations? Or is it secret? Not sure I understand your question. So the indicator is going to be a fully fledged, no secrets indicator. That is essentially how I utilize dealing ranges and X levels. You know, I'm going to be using that indicator, so there's not going to be any secrets on it. It's going to be an indicator that I'm using. It's primarily built for me, but you know, obviously other people can utilize it. So yeah, no, nothing's going to be held back. Yeah, exactly that, Gary. Yeah, 100%. You're going to have the ability to choose which time frame across the time frames which I utilize, toggle them on and off. You're going to have the ability to select which charts they go into. You're going to have the ability to customize. I've also got other things going in there as well to make it an all-in-one inclusive indicator. So it's going to have lots going on. So. It's going to have your kill zones in there. It's going to have, you name it. It's going to be the bells and whistles. It's going to be the GOAT of indicators. Yeah, because I'm tired of having to draw them. If I'm honest with you, I'm tired of having to constantly draw them. You know, so for example, if we just take this 5, oosh, hello, you know, it's going to do that. Like, so it'll do that. It'll automatically create that. All right. So if you have your indicator on, you'll have that on. That'll just be there. All right. So the principles of X levels, that's where you hunt for your PD rate. If you're bearish biased, right? Chat with me. You with me, Gary? Shut up, X. So you just got engineered down here at the moment. It's just engineering liquid. Probably going to make it untradeable in use. I'm just still holding my short. I'm holding my runner. If it stops me out, I'm not too bothered. Going to hold it to get back down into this unmitigated range on the low, which is 90. I'm going for 92s on my runner. So the deal for daily H1. You got it, AJ. You got it, sir. I know. It's mind-blowing, isn't it? That's just honestly, honestly, it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's the tip of the iceberg of what's coming on that indicator. There's going to be some super cool features. So if you're like if you for example if you travel a lot and you only trade on one screen because you haven't got the real estate on your across your screens, I got you covered. Don't you worry. Do not you worry. Not sure yet, Gary. Keep you in the loop with that one, mate. Not sure. But it's gonna have to be recouped somehow because it's cost an absolute fortune. So we'll see. Primarily, I'm doing it for myself, and that's not me. That's not me just being selfish. Generally, it's for me. Are you using a PC for? Yes, I'm a PC, bro. So yeah, I currently trade. Well, I've got a Mac here which has some like social stuff on it. It's also got my other work emails on it, and my Spotify playlist. And then yeah, I trade off. I've got 4 screens. So one screen that's dedicated to executions, which is a 15-second chart. And so I have NQES. What else do I have? Yeah, M and Q, and then MES underneath it, depending on what I'm trading. And then on the other side, I have all my streaming stuff, like my Discord and what I stream, all my software for that sort of gummage. And then on the high, I've got divergences and that sort of stuff. And then up here, this is my monthly, weekly, daily. This is my hourly, and then this is my 15 down to 1. So I just toggle 15, 5, and 1. So this is my this is like my my analysis chart. But if I'm being honest with you, like the indicator's not even the big news which is coming. And I'm not even joking with you. I'm not even joking with you. Something enormous is coming to Red Pill, and it's not been done anywhere else. And I'm super proud. It's taken ages to get here, but I'm really excited by it. Like if you want to take trading seriously, there is not going to be a better place. And I mean seriously, not piss around in a Discord and talk about crap, right? If you really, really, really want to dial in, there ain't going to be anywhere better. I tell you that now. So yeah, super excited for that. So hoping to launch that in hopefully the coming weeks. Still got X Levels Part 2 to release. So yeah, there's a lot going on at the moment. All right, so ES is now taking out the S&T divergence on the high, which should set up a short. If price is gonna work back towards these lows, it would have to go from here. Otherwise, it's gonna absolutely a Hail Mary. Because it's going to create a new divergence on the high, which is just going to drag NQ up. So I'm still holding this. I've basically got this runner. It's a lamb to slaughter. I don't love it, but ES would have to hold this higher. So if we go over here to our divergence chart, so we got all the way up here. So this is the only thing which is holding NQ. If ES starts piling through this high, it's off. She ain't coming back. NQ's not coming back. Yeah, move to the sidelines. Do not try and short this. ES has gone and piled through that. So yeah, if you've read the daily plans, so that basically just took my runner out there, by the way. So I'm currently flat. If you're you have to be super mindful of this Nasdaq divergence, especially if they're going to use news. If this just starts to, which I'm now anticipating, just to rip, do not try and find a short on this. Honestly, it's not even worth it, and it's far too risky to be in a long. So for me, it's a situation where there just is no trade opportunity. Like, you cannot short inside of here with that Nasdaq divergence on the high, with ES piling through new all-time highs. Right? You just can't do it. So it's going to be, ES will pull NQ up to come up towards the Nasdaq divergence on the 16th, which is this high here, which is all the way up at 698. So you just can't short it. You cannot short in here. If it pulls back, it's just one of those. Okay, cool, it's pulled back, but no chance will I be shorting that. And I don't want to long it because we're too far in a premium. So it's just one of those. If you're not in during London, if you missed this entry on the low, this balanced price range, it's like abu boo. Yes, it is. There's a very in-depth way in terms of how I use SMT. There's various different types of SMT that you need to be aware of. Is that 677? Bum 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 bum. So inside of this, inside of here is where I have an interest. It's just too close to news to be trying to trade anything here. If we do get the pullback as anticipated, I'll be looking at longs outside this mitigation. If you wanted a hyper aggressive short, you'd be short with a stop above that high. It's a hyper aggressive short and it's a wide stop. So close to news. It's super aggressive. You'd only trade it if you had a profit in your hands. I'm personally not going to. I'm personally not going to take it only because it's too close to news. But I'm anticipating a pullback to kind of sweep out this liquidity. They've just left it too close to news. So what I prefer to do is wait for news to deliver and then trade accordingly off that, versus trying to trade just ahead of volatility. Do I accept DMs in your DMs? Yeah, of course you can. You can, or reach out to me on Twitter, Gary. Either or, mate. Twitter or I tend not to accept invites on in Discord. So if you joined RP and then you asked me to send you a DM, then at least you know it's me. Because there's a lot of people who basically scam my name. Basically fake accounts of mine, so I don't get caught up in that. I just avoid it. But if you want to reach out on Twitter, be my guest. It's one of those where context will keep me out of it. Even though I'm anticipating a pullback, I can't. I just simply out of just logic of just not being a gambler. I just can't trade that close to news. I just cannot do that. I'm listening to a song where they're talking about shitting in the bed. It's hilarious. It's probably not saying that, but that's what it sounds like to me. It's like, I can shit in the bed. If you want to listen to the same music as me today, guys, you're more than welcome to. You are more than welcome to. We're on the jazz today. We're on the jazz. So if you want to listen to a little bit of jazz, be my guest. That's your link. If you're short on this, you got bigger balls than me, but fair play. I wouldn't want to see the price through that high to go and run these lows out. Came for my runner. So that was a case of so on our high, what we're talking about is delayed S&P. Well, I won't say it, but yeah, Red Pillars know what I'm talking about. So that's the only thing that was holding Anki. All right, so price had to reject on once ES took that high out for price to pull back. So, as I was mentioning this morning, you want to be mindful of this M5 BISI to now act as support. You want to keep a close eye on ES on the equivalent M5 BISI to now act as support. So I'm anticipating a pull back into this. ES has got a weak low that it needs to drive out, taking out this low. So I'm anticipating a pullback on news. But the problem with news is you got Terry in the office who can do anything, so you just got to be mindful of that. So your first point of interest would be 94. Sorry, 92. This mitigation. That is exactly why you can't trade news. So patience is the name of the game. Patience, guys. If you have anxiety at the charts and you're always looking to itch for a trade, you've got a lot to learn. Patience. Remember what I said. When you have news, when it's like this, one at 8:30, at 8:45, it's often wiki. Patience. Just listen to a bit of jazz. That's all you got to do. Just listen to a bit of jazz. Calm the soul. So for me personally, not doing anything until ECP drops at 8:45. Nothing. The name of today is Protect Capital from earlier on in the week. Keep reinforcing that in your mind. It's not about junkie trading. But for those who are around on yesterday in RP, our trade on yesterday on RP, I had the lowest. I think I got the lowest entry I saw anywhere. So, beautiful entry. 15 right in on the low. So using the principles of X levels to do that. So whilst we wait for news, to get out of the way. All the way back down at 61.8 on the daily X levels, right? So using the higher time frame points of interest to dial in, or if we jump to this chart, which gives us our MWOGs, right down into this MWOG. So this is where we went long yesterday inside of RP. Right in on this low, utilizing the turtle suit on the low. Alright, so this is these are the quad levels of the MWOG. So using the principles of X levels again, this candle not closing below, just wicking. So wick's doing the damage, body telling the story. No close below. So anticipating a pullback. So our trade, this trade was in here. I actually went in on 15, the upper quad, searching to take out this doji. So a nice little 50-point trade off the using the 950 1010 macro, coming out to drive out this higher. So that's my trade yesterday. My first trade anyway. So if I just show you this quickly, this is my trade yesterday on the low. So initially in at 17 and 15, scaled out to 28. So 15 was my secondary entry. Always two opportunities at a trade idea. So 22.15 up to 22.59 was my long yesterday, which was that trade. What else did I trade yesterday? So oh yeah, gold off a breaker block. And then we used my search and destroy profile model during London as well. So those are the trades yesterday. So a monster day. So it's just a case of today just being patient. Not needing to force anything. Wait for something high probability A+. The funny thing is, I'm happy sitting here just not taking a trade at all. Alright? It's not here to junkie trade. Patience. Can't stress it enough. Oi. So ES would make me nervous in terms of what ES is up to. So ES has now gone and put in new all-time high. You want to be incredibly careful shorting this now. Incredibly careful. Uh, 6 minutes to ECB. Six minutos. Bum, 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 bum. 2 seconds, guys. Gonna nip to the toilet before ECB. One sec. Still the one, still saying 1 minute DR. Just don't love it. It's just not clean enough. Like, I just don't want to go short here with ES taking out new all-time highs with the Nasdaq divergence on the high, but I'm absolutely not going long here with all this engineered liquidity on the low. So gun to my head, we have a pullback before we go long, but I don't like it enough to short it. There's nothing really here on NQ that we're respecting. This old breaker block, but it hasn't even reached the breaker block, so it's like Alright, so we might get delayed SMT up in this high. If ES holds those the double top on the high, 52, which is right inside the breaker block, and that is literally it with a super tight stop, like a 5-point stop, almost like it's complete and utter paper cut if it goes through it. Just playing with profits. But it's a super high risk. It would be a super high risk short, so you don't need to take it if you don't have to. is so 6 minutes left on 6 minutes left on this 15. So if the 6 minutes closes above 36.25, you've got a new DR. So 36.25. Yeah. So in the next 6 minutes, for me, it's got to close back below this high. If you've got any hope of it coming back down into here. So ES would need to hold on to this double top at 1975. ES would need to turtle suit this high. And if you trade it, super tight stop. If it goes through that, I'd move to the sidelines. I'd just sit still and just wait for a PM session trade or a London close reversal. I won't be trading in New York. Why? Because it's more likely to go and drive out the 16th high, and I'll be way too far in a premium to be chasing that. So there's your turtle suit on the high. It has to respect this high for a pullback. How long have we got left on that? 15. 2 minutes. gonna have to. It has to reject back below this low in the next 2 minutes. No, I'm just gonna close it break even. Keep it break even. Don't like it. Would have wanted to see an immediate reaction. That's it for me now. I'm just basically gonna sit down. I'm not gonna trade now until we take the all-time high. I'm not in the long. I wanted to get a sweep on engineered liquidity if I was going to go long, right? So this engineered, I wanted to see this swept to go and trade along. It's not provided that, so there's just no opportunity for me to trade here. And I'm not going to short this with the July 16th high still intact. And I'm not going to long it in such a premium. So there is no trade for me. It's just one of those. It's just going to go without me. There is no trade. Your voice volume is way lower than your YouTube commercials. Sorry. Yeah, is that better? Can you hear me? It's probably a bit loud, isn't it? I'm going to screw you over now. What you saying? Get some. Yeah, so completely flat, guys. Just cancel that one for break even. So this is what you got to be mindful of. This high here. No, there's absolutely no chance I'm shorting this. I'm not going near it. Not going near it. It's like the very high of this breaker block, sure, but it's more likely to go for liquidity than it is to go back and search for sell side now, right? The fact that we've had such such range is more likely to go for the highs than it is for the lows, especially now you've got ES punching through new all-time highs. So we've now got a triple divergence up on the high. Like this is just going to drag ES NQ up, but there's no safe entry, right? You know, we were talking about all morning that we're looking for price to get back down into here, you know, sweep out this engineered turtle suit, bingo, even if it was on data, right, back down into some form of a discount. This would have been an M15 X levels, right, back down in here, utilizing this 5-minute SIBI now acting as support, right? Once it breaks through, it's now support in the truest sense, right? So you're looking at the upper quads ICT to then act as support, which would have given us this mitigation, or this mitigation below it. I would have been looking for this one down here at 82 to go long. It hasn't provided any of that. So yes, we're in a huge deep premium, and yes, there is the potential for it to come back and sweep all of this. But this is where it's like really important in your trading to understand context and deciding whether context keeps you out of a trade or not. It's the difference between a professional trader and someone who doesn't understand it and is essentially a retail trader. You've got like so many trades get filtered out for me because of context. And the context for me is that we still have the NASDAQ divergence on the 16th high. We're above 75% of projected range. So it's more likely that price is going to drive out the highs than it is going to come back and start searching for sell side liquidity. So because of that, I don't have a clear buck stop on the high. It's not like I have guys like this high is our absolute high. I do not anticipate price to go through this level on the higher time frame. So for example, if we had like a breaker block or anything which is keyed off that level where price should not go through that level, I could say, gents, I'm confident on this level holding below it because now the order flow is bearish. We've had the breaker structure and now our order flow is bearish, right? It's not that. We still have open for price to go and drive out the highs on the 16th, supporting by ES now punching through new all-time highs. So the idea of me shorting against that is trading anti-trend, and I don't trade anti-trend. I try and get in sync with the trend, all right? So in this instance, it would have been me getting a sweep on this liquidity into this unmitigated range inside a form of higher time frame discount, in this instance in a 15-minute discount, right? ES going outside of a premium on the higher time frame of an hourly. Trying to chase along up here is absolutely deluded. It's mental, right? But in the same sentence, I can't go short here because I'm anticipating, or NQ has the strong potential for it to go and drive up the 16th. So it's just one of those scenarios where there is no low risk, high probability entry. The trade was this morning during balanced price range, which we missed by 4 points, right? If you were inside RP, I missed this entry by 4 points. That was the entry today. I wanted mean threshold of BPR. I missed it. Okay, deal with it. Suck it up. Own it, right? Didn't get the entry. Fine. It doesn't mean up here I'm going to start chasing it or starting to trade against my plan because my bias was long. So now all of a sudden, just because I didn't get my entry, I'm now going to try and short against the trend. So if you think about it logically, what's going to happen? Okay, well, I'm going to go short here and it's going to blow through and I'm going to go, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this when I know price can go up for the 16th high? You're making the situation worse, right? Either get in the sync with the price and take the trade and execute and hold, right? Or don't take the trade, miss the trade, and sit on the sidelines. Like, you weren't good enough. You missed it. Own it, right? That's the difference between an elite trader and someone who's just an absolute retail garbage trash who just wants to trade everything. They just want to get to the charts and they want to do something. It's not like that in trading. There's ebbs and flows. There's moments when to take a trade, when not to take a trade. And that is so important and fundamental to your knowledge. And it is what will prevent you from spinning on that proverbial hamster wheel, right? It's those nuggets of information that are so important. So am I sat here going, we're so extended, we must be going short here? No, absolutely not. If I had a clear buck stop level on the high where I was not anticipating price to go through, and I had the context to support lower prices, yes. So for me, price had to, it absolutely had to respect this order, essentially this daily order block, and it had to respect essentially this breaker block. It had to respect it. As soon as it's gone through that and ES has now gone and put in another new divergence, it's off. It's off, right? Move to the sidelines. You didn't get the entry. Okay. You with me? That makes sense? So I have no anxiety right now. There's no bone in my body that is desperate to trade. None. Context is like, X, you don't need to trade this. You're going to wait for a high probability setup. And when it does arise, you're going to take it for 120 points. Right? Why the hell would I start trying to short in here when I know price can go up for the 16th high? Makes no sense. And why in God's name would I long here when we're in such a deep premium? Again, makes no sense. There is no fucking trade. Deal with it. So this is one where you're probably best off waiting for either a London close, right? So you're going to look around 11:30, your 11:30 macro, to see where you are at 11:30, right? And if there's context to support, you're also going to, if you don't get 11:30, but to be fair, London close reversal is the only thing I'd look at, which is 11:30. So I've got no interest in here. Zero. Does that make sense? Honestly, if you take that advice, you'll save yourself a hell of a lot of money. So the way that I trade, I have to have a buck stop. It has to be in alignment with a schematic, and then I have to have a time element, and then there's certain things that I'm looking for. Primarily, I have to be inside of a higher time frame discount if I'm going long, or a higher time frame premium when I'm going short. And at that level where I'm looking to frame my entry, it has to be absolutely clear with context to support that trade idea. All of those things together, and there's other things which I teach inside Red Pill, is what sets up a high probability trade. And then our jobs as traders is trading in alignment with buy programs and sell programs, and there's ways to determine how that is taking place, right? We're quite clearly inside of a buy program. So why in God's name would you look to short against it when there is an objective on the high for price to reach to, right? So yes, price could. And here's the devil on the shoulder. Here's the parrot on the shoulder. Price could mitigate this H1 range and dump. And if it does that, amazing, right? But in terms of probability and the context, for me, it's not something which I would want to execute on because of what I've just mentioned with the NASDAQ divergence on the 16th. There is no clear level as to why price would respect that. You with me? So for me, it's more likely we're going to go up towards 2,700 and take out this NASDAQ divergence on the 16th of July, which is this candle. This candle right here. And what I will say is this is extremely bullish. The fact that you haven't even got a sweep, you've just got this tiny little wick here, is incredibly bullish. This BPR, this little IFED, like all of this is like incredibly bullish. I don't want to short against that. Context. Bum, 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 bum. Tell him to bring out the lobsters. Again, a little IFED there on the 5 minute. Let's see what happens at the open. Always ask yourself the question, if you had 20 million and you worked for a hedge fund, would you place it into the market here? Always ask yourself that question. So an area of interest for me on the high today is 210. Sorry, 710. 210, 710. Bam, 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 bam. It's literally just honestly, there's just literally nothing in it. I'm in a capital preservation mode. There's literally nothing here that I want to trade. Unfortunately, I trade real money, not evaluation accounts when I stream, so I'm not here to junkie trade. You just get some little window wipers for these things. They're constantly getting marked. No trade for me today. Beautiful sell-off if you're in it. Having one of those days today. Missed my entry on ES. Had a limit set. Mean threshold from earlier. This 5-minute busy. Remember what we're talking about? If price is bullish, what it's going to go out of. It's gonna be no trade day for me today. Don't like where we are enough. Good stuff, Joe. If you took the trade, mate. If you took a trade, good stuff. Beautiful. It's just one of those days for me. Missed both my entries in London. Missed my entry on ES on the low. And see, sometimes you've got to just know when to sit still. For me, it's one of those days. I also don't like this high, but I don't like this low. So honestly, I'm just being completely transparent with you. It's like, you know, there's times when I'm gonna go Hail Mary and hard at the market. There's gonna be times when I'm just gonna sit still and do nothing. Right now is one of those occasions. I do not like the 16th of July high. And I've missed my entry on the long, so. So this is where I'd normally be playing my M5 continuation model, but because of that high, I just don't want to go near it. So I might call it early today, guys. Just get away from the charts for a bit. Nothing on the long for me. Nothing on the lows. I missed the entry on ES. Didn't want to trade the short, and then took a little trade during London, but missed my two major opportunities. Missed a BPR on the 15-minute. So I'm going to call it a no trade day this morning on YouTube. I'm just going to sit still. I'm just going to wait to see where we are later in the session. I don't like where we are personally. You may say it differently, but personally I don't. So I'm going to call my morning here and come back to see where we are around sort of London close, that sort of stuff. All right, so I'm just going to park it up, wait to see how price evolves, and then go from there. All right, guys. So no trade day for me. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So I will see you next time, mate. Take care of yourselves. Have good ones. Catch you in a bit. Yeah, bush.